Tempe, Arizona, a suburb of Phoenix. Arizona, tremendous drug problem, tremendous migrant problem. I was down there a few weeks ago, and it's just insane. So the DEA works in partnership with the Tempe, Arizona Police, which is a complement to that police agency, by the way. So they seize, when was this? February 23rd. I just learned of this. They seized 4.5 million fentanyl pills, 30 million lethal doses of fentanyl in one operation. More narcotics are coming into the United States today than ever before in the history of this nation. And there's no dispute about it. Everybody knows it because of the open border. So we are fortunate to have a guest tonight who has written a brand new book. It is called Overrun: How Joe Biden Unleashed the Greatest Border Crisis in U.S. History. All right. It's been out about a week. And I have read most of the book. Every fact you ever wanted to know about the border is in this book. So if you are somebody who wants the debate or anything, you need to pick up Overrun. The author is Todd Bensman. He is a senior national security fellow for the Center for Immigration Studies. He joins us now from Austin, Texas. All right, good job on the book. Everybody knows what's happening. You know, even though Mayorkas and Biden and Harris keep saying the border is secure, everybody knows that's a deceit, just like I proved on the electric and the fuel bills. All right, they just are deceivers. Okay. But what we don't know is why would a sitting president of the United States, most powerful man in the world, want his own country overrun by migrants and dangerous drugs? Why would he want that?
So, Bill, there's a chapter in the book called The New Theologians, a big, long chapter about how the Biden administration, especially during the campaign, the 2020 campaign leading up to the election, became dependent on a very far left fringe of the Democratic Party coalition. Think kind of the Bernie Sanders people, but even to the left of them, to be able to emerge from a crowded field of primary candidates and then to go on and win against Donald Trump. Everybody thought it was going to be a very thin margin of victory, whoever won. And for their reward, they were given power, real power in the White House, and they took the immigration portfolio. This is all described in much more detail than that, but the ideology, the theology that these people hold has been held at bay for years and years by regular mainstream Democrats, but they couldn't do it this time because they were so needed. They were going to tip the balance sheet for Biden. And those people still have the immigration portfolio to this day. And they have this ideology, this theology of open borders equals human rights, equals civil rights, that somehow U.S. civil rights apply to the entire world, that borders are an anachronism, that they are cruel and inhumane, that anybody should be able to walk anywhere they want into anybody's country. So that's one thing. It's the gratification of seeing a rejected ideology implemented. In reality.
Now, the Biden administration was beholden to George Soros. He's one of the crew you're referring to, and the big money on the far left, Hollywood money also, that gave him enough funds to win the election. All right, remember, Mark Zuckerberg pumped in $400 million to the 2020 election, most of which went to people to help harvest votes for Joe Biden. So you're correct. There was a tremendous debt owed the far left. However, Biden could have easily swatted that away and said, look, we appreciate what you did for us, but I got to enforce, because I raised my right hand to enforce the laws of this nation, so I have to. He could have done that, Todd. He didn't do it. Any idea why?
And still hasn't done it. So I have a couple of theories about this. One is that the president is not fully there. There's a power vacuum. He's there's lots of speculation about his mental state, but I believe that he's not all there, and he's unable to kind of wrap his mind around that issue along with other issues at the same time, and that people like Alejandro Mayorkas and those far left theologians, as I call them, are taking advantage and exploiting.
That makes sense. And I have reported that as well. We can't prove it, but that's the only avenue. Is there another avenue beside the diminishment of his mental capacity to understand complicated issues? Is there anything else?
Yes, there is one other issue, and that is the people and the ideology that are running our immigration policy today. They come from what I call the migrant advocacy industrial complex, which is to say that it's this vast constellation of NGOs, of organizations that profit very, very handsomely on huge numbers of immigrants crossing that border. They are gaining government contracts in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
All right, but
and those that aren't getting government,
that could be stopped with a stroke of the pen. And then what I led into you with was the narcotics, which is going to be for the next 10 to 20 years because of all of the addiction now that is happening. There's no justification there. There's no human rights there. There's nothing there but crime. So let's help the drug cartels make more billions, right?
Well, as a matter of fact, the drug cartels, there's good credible reporting that the drug cartels are starting to make more money now on human smuggling than they are in some cases on drug
All right,
trafficking.
and I don't just, but let's put that aside. The people who want open borders don't care how the migrants get here. But who wants 4.5 million pills of fentanyl found in Tempe, Arizona? Who?
Right. Well, what you do there is you just ignore that. You swat that information away.
Why?
So that you can, because they just don't care, Bill. They don't.
Okay.
They don't care.
They couldn't care. It's not that they don't. Right. They couldn't care and allow the border to be open to the extent it is. Final question for you. You've been to the border probably more than any other reporter that I know. And there are all kinds of stuff, scams about children. I mean, these cartels in Mexico, they control the entire country of Mexico, in my opinion. There's no restraints on the cartels inside Mexico. But you're much more authoritative in this area than I am, because I've been down there a few times, but you've been down there a while. Am I right that these cartels are controlling that whole country?
Yes, they control physically. The geospatial control is something like 35% of Mexico, like physically control it, and the rest of it they can control by dint of payoffs and threats and intimidation of the central government. Remember, these cartels have huge, well-equipped paramilitary armies, and I mean full-on armies,
right,
with tanks and machine guns and everything. And you can't push them around. Quite the contrary, they are pushing the central Mexican government around. That president down there embraces a policy that he calls hugs, not bullets.
I know.
That's the extent of it.
One of the worst things I saw was the three amigos going down there, Biden, Justin Trudeau, and Obrador, and there they were. And this didn't even come up. It didn't even come up. It was such a farce, such an insult. All right, the book again is Overrun, How Joe Biden Unleashed the Greatest Border Crisis in U.S. History. You can get it anywhere. All right, the author is Todd Bensman. So Todd, I hope you'll come back, and we really appreciate the good work on the book.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the attention to it.
Okay. Protecting your online privacy has never been more important. And StartMail is the perfect solution to ensure your personal data remains secure. Founded in 2013, StartMail has been on a mission to provide privacy-first email services that protect its customers from advertisers, government surveillance, and spam. StartMail also makes it easy to generate unlimited disposable email addresses to protect your inbox from spam and phishing attempts. It even has a migration tool that allows you to move your emails and contacts from Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, and other providers with just a few clicks. Best of all, sign up today and save 50% on your first subscription year. So please join the thousands of people who have chosen StartMail. Go to startmail.com/Bill to take advantage of this limited time offer. Protect your online privacy and enjoy ad-free email communication without surveillance. StartMail with a T.com/Bill, 50% off. Okay, so I stole something from Harvard over the weekend. The Belfer Center is part of the Kennedy School, and you know that I attended there. They have a chart, and I thought it was fascinating about Russia, Ukraine, and they call it a report card in the war. So the first part of the chart is territory seized. Russia has seized 25,000 square miles, 11% of Ukraine. Casualties, Russia 130,000 plus, Ukraine same. Okay, so they're equal in casualties. Civilian fatalities, Russia 25, Ukraine 7,200. Impact on the economy growth, Russia's down 2.3%, Ukraine's down 35%. Loss of infrastructure, Russia doesn't really have any. 40% of energy capacity in Ukraine has been destroyed. And displacement of civilians, this is a big one. 800,000 Russians have left the country. That's enormous. I did not know that. In Ukraine, it's 13 million. 13 million have either left the country or moved to a safer area. But the Russians, 800,000. And most of those are draft-age men. Anyway, that's a chart that I thought you should see. Janet Yellen, who is the Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton's old job, she went to Kyiv, and she gave the government there, Zelensky heading it, of course, $1.25 billion. And that's a nice gift, okay? That's the first installment of our $10 billion U.S. aid commitment for humanitarian expenses. So there's Janet. I'd like her to come over to my house, and she doesn't have to really give me that much, but I'll take what she's got. So I thought you'd like to know that, Janet Yellen. Germany. Now, over the weekend, Saturday, February 25th, there was a giant demonstration in Berlin, all right, sponsored by the far left, that says we want to surrender to Putin. It's called the Uprising for Peace. And it basically says, well, we want negotiations, but Putin will negotiate. So what they want is to surrender to Putin. Now, Germany is a NATO country. However, what people don't understand is Germany still has a very vibrant communist wing among the people. Remember, East Germany was communist from 1945 until the Berlin Wall came down in what, early 1990s, late, I don't have it off the top of my head. But they were communists, all right, for 40 years, East Germany. And a lot of the people remained communists. And that's what that was, okay? So, yeah, we like Putin. We want to surrender to Putin. I don't know how much you like him when he marches into East Germany. Bill O'Reilly here for Lone Star Transfer. If booking your timeshare has been difficult in the past, you know it's been almost impossible lately. Most clients are shocked to learn that their timeshare is now available to the public, severely limiting booking options. Many owners are upset their yearly dues have nearly doubled during this maintenance fee season. For well over a decade, this family-owned company has had the pleasure of helping more than 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out of their timeshare fees. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and more than 900 five-star testimonials, Lone Star Transfer is a company you can trust. Lone Star Transfer guarantees the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. So please call my friends today for a free, no-obligation consultation at 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. All right, here is the final thought of the day. What are the most wicked cities in the United States? This is calling to Wallet Hub. Put them on up there. And for you on the radio, I'll read them. The most sinful states, states, not cities. Nevada, well, we all know. California, Louisiana, that's New Orleans. Florida, and Pennsylvania, the most sinful. Wow. Least sinful. Wyoming, great outdoors. Idaho, same thing. New Hampshire, same thing. Vermont, same thing. Iowa, same thing. The wholesome outdoor activities. Indoor sin, outdoor you're okay. Now, what about sin? So it's never discussed unless you go to church, which few Americans do, or temple, or mosque. Sin in polite conversation? No, not discussed, because if you mention the word sin, you're a zealot, a religious fanatic. Now, there is a portion of the Bible that makes it quite clear that we are all sinners, and that's true. Human beings are fallible, and even Mother Teresa and my mother, who was close to Mother Teresa, they did bad things. Okay, but they tried not to, hard. But the concept of sin, giving into evil, is almost obsolete in America. So people don't want to hear about it. And according to the Christian faith, we're not supposed to judge individuals. That's the first stone, cast the first stone. Okay? We're not supposed to judge. So we can't, there goes a sinner right there. No. Because we don't have the right to do that because we're sinners. See? So the concept of sin is almost gone. And that's a bad thing. Because right and wrong exist. Evil and good exist. That's why I'm right in killing witches. Under the banner of religion, these witches were executed. Under the banner of sin, demonic possession. It's crazy. But now, the relativism that the progressives embrace, no. Whatever you want to do is okay. If you hurt somebody else, it's all right. As long as you want to do it, benefits you, go ahead. No sin anymore. Isn't that interesting? And it's true. I don't remember the last time I ever even heard the word uttered in conversation. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.